Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Star Wars Dojo here today with a brand new video. I hope you guys have an amazing day so far. The first episode of the Book of Boba Fett came out, and I am doing the breakdown right now, and we're going to get right into it. I'm not going to waste any more time. Yeah, let's do it. Alright, so the episode opens up to Jabba the Hutt's old castle on Tatooine, and then it cuts to show the empty throne inside the castle, and then it shows Boba Fett inside of some sort of healing chamber that Boba Fett's in. It shows him his face up close. He's submerged in water on a breathing tube, and he begins to start dreaming. He starts dreaming about Kamino, and then he starts dreaming about when he was younger and his father, Jango Fett, was beheaded, and him picking up his father's helmet and looking into it. And then it cuts to Boba Fett when he was thrown into the Sarlacc pit. He's in the stomach of the Sarlacc pit. He's all gooey, everything's all gross and smudgy, and he turns on his headlight on his helmet and sees a stormtrooper down there with him, dead, of course, because of the acid in the stomach of the Sarlacc. And Boba makes his way over to the stormtrooper and pulls his oxygen tank and begins to get fresh air in his helmet. He then shoves his fist through the Sarlacc's stomach and begins to burn him from the inside out, which is insane. And then immediately cuts to Boba crawling out of the sand, all sticky and muddy and gooey, and he's obviously burnt as well. And it just goes to show that he would have done anything to survive. That is a moment we've been waiting to figure out for so long. It is so crazy. And then it cuts to him passing out, laying down right after that. I would have passed out too, but he passes out, and then it shows a bunch of Jawas show up and begin taking all of his stuff, leaving him broke and robbed. He wakes up and he wakes up and he tries to stop them, but he immediately gets knocked out and can't do anything about it, basically, which is kind of funny. He gets beat up by a bunch of Jawas. But then eventually a bunch of Tusken Raiders show up, and they're checking to see if he's dead or alive, and they figure out he's alive. They tie him up and keep him as a prisoner. They tie him up behind a bunch of banthas and make him walk his way all the way across the deserts of Tatooine, which it was a whole thing, and it looked so grueling and painful. He eventually started to get dragged across the desert to their nearby camp that was not so nearby, but they tie him to a pole and begin beating him. And then it cuts to him waking up in the middle of the night, tied up to a pole, next to a Rodian prisoner as well, tied up next to him. Boba makes some noise, and the Tusken Raider Mastiff wakes up and begins growling at him and approaches him, and Boba chokes it out and uses its teeth to take off his handcuffs, and he tries to help the fellow Rodian, and he begins to start screeching and making noise, and then wakes up all the Tuskens. Boba begins to run away, and they catch him, and looks like the leaders of the Tuskens caught him and beat him up, brought him back, and then it cuts to Shennik Fang waking up Boba Fett in the Bacta chamber. He gets out, and then he gets dressed by droids that put on his suit, kind of like Darth Vader and his droids, how they put on his suit for him. They begin to do the same thing for Boba Fett, and it looks like it takes place right after The Mandalorian, where Boba Fett takes the throne of Jabba the Hutt. Boba puts on the rest of his armor and goes to sit on the throne while the townspeople come in and give him newly greetings and gifts and everything. And then two of Jabba the Hutt's old guards show up, and Boba Fett was willing to spare their life if they promised to protect him, and they bow to him and everything. And then the scene cuts to the entire landscape city, or the big city of Tatooine, which looks amazing. It looks so cool. Boba is walking with Fennec Shand and his 2 guards down the streets of Tatooine, and they walk into looks like a big casino bar area, and they meet everyone there and begin to talk about prices and everything, and how he's the new boss in charge, which is really cool. Like, we never get to see this kind of stuff happen, and they're very friendly with Boba, and they give him a helmet full of coins. They begin to walk out, and then they get ambushed. They get ambushed by some sort of assassin raiders of some sort. Just these ninja-dressed guys with shields and tasing staffs. And Fennec Shand and Boba Fett are fighting them off, and are about to lose before Boba's newly guards show up and pretty much beat all of them up. Just the 2 of them, and then Fennec Shand and Boba are handling other people as well. Really cool fight scene, really amazing. And then we kind of get a first glimpse of Boba getting beat up. We see him getting, he's not as strong as he used to be. He's weak from what it looks like. And after the guards beat up the last guy, the others begin to run away, and Boba looks up and fires a wrist rocket at one of the men escaping, and completely liberates him. Fennec Shand begins to chase after the last 2 guys. She's jumping over rooftops, chasing them. She eventually catches them and kills them both. And then Boba's guards get him to his healing chamber. They get him in the water, submerged in the water, and they put the breathing tube on him. And then he begins to start going into more dreams, which is really cool. Because usually we would kind of get annoyed at having Boba going back and forth into the chamber, but now it's kind of like we're excited because we get to see more flashbacks, and that's all we want. We want to see more flashbacks and more present day stuff, which I feel they did very good with this in this show, or in this episode, and I feel like it's going to progress like that, which I hope it does. But it cuts to Boba tied up to another post, and he gets escorted with the other prisoner by a youngling Tusken Raider and a massive. And the youngling is leading them through the sands of Tatooine, and then they witness a robbery happen, or a bunch of other raiders, not Tuskens but humans it looks like, and they leave some sort of strange symbol spray painted on the houses, or on the house that they raided the people of. Eventually, then the scene cuts to the youngling raider making Boba and the Rodian start digging in the sand for like these coconuts, these sand coconuts basically that have water in them. They keep digging, and Boba ends up drinking a little bit, and the raider gets upset and goes to hurt him, and he stops it. It's a pretty funny scene, and Boba's just like, no, I'm gonna have a drink. They keep digging, and Boba's trying to talk to the Rodian and saying, hey, we could have got out if you didn't start screaming. And all of a sudden, the Rodian digs up this weird looking claw, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, boom, this huge alien grabs the Rodian. This monster, it looked like a Machamp of a Pokemon. It grabs this Rodian and completely just beats the living shit out of him. And the mastiff dog tries jumping on. He punches the dog away, and Boba's chained to this Rodian by ankle chains. And so when this big creature lifts and beats up this Rodian, Boba's getting thrown around, dangling around. Boba wraps the chains around one of its arms, and the big creature just punches. It's some sort of like baby crate dragon. I don't even know. It's just like a 6-legged creature. six-legged creature. I don't really know. He punches Boba like far away, and then goes to chase after the youngling Tusken Raider before Boba climbs behind the beast and starts choking it. He starts choking the thing out. It is such a badass scene. It's so cool. He's just pulling and killing the thing, and he ends up killing it. And Boba lands on top of its back, and he stands tall. He stands tall in front of the youngling Tusken Raider, and begins to walk back. And it cuts to a scene of the youngling Tusken Raider carrying the head of the beast and running to the group of Tuskens and basically showing what happened. And it looked like he took the credit for it, but then eventually one of the head leaders of the Tusken Raiders comes by to Boba and brings him a water coconut, or a sand coconut, so he can drink water. And Boba gladly sips that water, and the episode ends. It is amazing. It was, in my opinion, it was 8 out of 10. The reason why it was 8 out of 10, it was only 39 minutes long. Man, I really wanted to see more, but I feel that with the pace they have right now and what we've seen so far, it is perfect for a build-up of an amazing story. And there's only 7 episodes, and it's going to get better. It's going to get much, much, much better. And I hope that they keep going and running with this. It was kind of sad to see Boba, like, I mean, it's not sad, but it was sad and cool to see Boba weak, you know, and seeing him rebuild himself, because he's still needing to get back to chambers and heal and get stronger, and what he can improve on, and we can watch him grow and get stronger and more cool stuff happen. And I don't know, I'm just rambling, but I loved the episode. I hope you guys did too. Please leave a like on the video. Please subscribe and tell me what your thoughts are in the comments section below. Let me know if you know the name of that creature, because I don't. But yeah, hope you guys have an amazing day. Thank you for watching the video, and I'll see you guys later, and may the Force be with you always.